And her strategy, if there is one, is giving scattered energy. One week she's hinting at a political run. The next she's tagging Kylie Jenner in Instagram stories. That's not versatility. That's a lack of direction. And in a town like this, direction is everything. You don't need to be popular. You just need to be predictable in your brand. Meghan at this point is neither. And then there's Harry. His face says more than any press statement ever could. Every time Meghan steps into another mess, Harry's the one left holding the fallout. He traded the royal life for freedom. But this isn't freedom. This is chaos with a California zip code. Friends of his, the ones who stuck around after the palace exit, are reportedly worried not just about his image, but about his peace, his purpose, his long-term role in whatever this is becoming. Because right now, it doesn't feel like a joint vision. It feels like Meghan dragging them both through an endless series of social gambles, hoping one pays off. But instead of wins, it's just more headlines, more distance from the life they thought they were choosing, more locked doors. You can feel the shift. Meghan isn't seen as a disruptor anymore. She's seen as a liability. Not someone shaking up the system, but someone who can't land inside one. And Kris Jenner, she's not in the business of dealing with uncertainty. She's in the business of control, image, consistency. So, when someone like Meghan shows up, unannounced, unpredictable, and potentially messy, it's not just about turning her away. It's about protecting the empire. And that empire does not make room for chaos. Harry looks like a man stuck in the middle of a reality he didn't sign up for. When he left the royal family, the world thought he was reclaiming his voice, but now that voice is barely heard over the noise Meghan keeps creating. Every bold headline with her name in it drags his name behind like luggage. He's not the star of this story anymore. He's the co-star in a drama that keeps airing new episodes nobody asked for. And that's the real tragedy. Harry had a shot at reinventing himself, being more than just a prince. But Meghan's chase for Hollywood relevance has turned that clean break into a muddy mess. People are no longer asking what Harry's doing with his newfound freedom. They're asking how long he can keep cleaning up after Meghan's missteps before something finally gives. There are quiet murmurs in their circle. Friends who used to be supportive are starting to distance themselves. Not out of hate, but fatigue. It's draining to watch someone you care about stuck in a spiral, repeating the same patterns. Meghan's not just burning bridges anymore. She's turning them into bonfires. And Harry's name is getting singed every time. And the saddest part, she still doesn't seem to get it. Tagging celebrities, making surprise appearances, pushing narratives that don't stick. It's like she's stuck in a fantasy where named dropping is still currency. But in today's Hollywood, nobody's giving out relevance for free. You have to bring value. You have to build something real. And Meghan, she's still acting like being Meghan is enough. The public sees through it now. The facade is cracking. And while there's always been critics now, the silence from those who once defended her is louder than the hate. Even the press has started shifting. The tone is changing from intrigue to exhaustion, from curiosity to cringe. The sympathy is fading, replaced by a growing sense of "we've seen this before." This latest Kris Jenner stunt only made things worse. Because now it's not just about Meghan chasing fame. It's about her being denied access by the very people she's trying to align with. It's not speculation anymore. It's rejection. And in Hollywood, rejection is loud. Even when it's silent, when the doors don't open, everyone notices. For Meghan, this is a turning point, whether she realizes it or not. The strategy of clout by association isn't working. The recycled PR formulas aren't landing, and the image she's projecting is doing more harm than good. If she wants to stay in the game, she has to rebuild from the ground up. Not with headlines, not with Instagram posts, but with something that matters. A film, a business, a cause, something real, something earned. But the clock's ticking. And in this town, when people stop caring, they don't tell you. They just move on. And that's the danger Meghan's flirting with now. Irrelevance. Not infamy, not criticism, just quiet, indifferent irrelevance. The kind that no amount of former royal shine can undo. As for Harry, people are watching closely. Every move, every expression, every trip without Meghan. it all gets dissected. Not because he's a royal, but because there's a growing question nobody wants to ask out loud. How long can he keep going like this? How long can he stay attached to a narrative that no longer benefits either of them? Meghan wanted a spotlight, but the one she's in now isn't flattering. It's harsh, revealing, and unfiltered. And unless something changes, something drastic, she'll keep spiraling. And Harry, he might be the one forced to find the exit just to survive the fallout. It's not every day you hear about someone getting turned away from Kris Jenner's mansion. But when that someone is Meghan Markle and she shows up uninvited, you better believe it's going to make noise. Big noise. No warning, no text, no heads up, just Meghan, former royal, current Hollywood ? Pulling up like she still runs the show. But the show has changed, and Hollywood doesn't hand out guest passes based on past titles, especially not at Kris Jenner's gate. Now, here's the scene. Meghan, thinking she could finesse her way into one of the most tightly guarded empires in celebrity history, pulls what insiders are calling a friendly drop-by. Except security didn't get the memo because there wasn't one. Her name wasn't on the list. Her face might be on magazines, but that doesn't mean it gets past the front door. And when Kris Jenner's security turns you around, it's not subtle. It's a message. One that says loud and clear, you're not part of this circle. And let's not pretend this was just a social visit. Meghan doesn't do casual. Every move has intent. Every public appearance is part of a broader play. She's been orbiting the Kardashian-Jenner world for a minute now, liking posts, tagging accounts, trying to signal some kind of mutual vibe. But Kris plays chess, not checkers. She sees the game before you make your first move. And when you try to shortcut your way in, it doesn't sit right. Especially not when the optics are screaming. Meghan's been chasing relevance, like it's slipping through her fingers. And maybe it is. Since she and Harry walked away from royal duties, she's tried everything from activism to production deals, podcasts to red carpet moments. But none of it's really landed. Not in the way she wanted. Not with the staying power. And now this. Showing up unannounced at Kris Jenner's house like she's still got that glow. That's desperation, not strategy. Because here's the truth. Meghan's struggling to find a space that fits. The palace is behind her. The British public over it. And Hollywood. Well, Hollywood's got rules. You don't just step into the Kardashian fold because you want to. That family built an empire by curating every single person allowed within their sphere. It's not about fame. It's about control. And Kris Jenner has mastered the art of knowing who adds value and who brings baggage. Let's be honest, Meghan doesn't just bring baggage. She brings headlines, controversy, and a reputation that's shifting from misunderstood to messy. There was a time when being a royal gave her a golden pass. But that pass has expired, and people are starting to treat her accordingly. No more guaranteed front row seats. No more just because invitations, and definitely no more surprise visits. It's not just that she got blocked, it's what it represents. Meghan knocking on doors that don't open anymore. The woman who once had a global spotlight is now stuck trying to borrow light from people who don't need her. She's moving like someone clinging to the edge of relevance, hoping someone, anyone, will reach out and pull her back in. But that's not how this works. Not here. Not in Kris Jenner's world. Because Kris isn't just a reality TV mom. She's a brand gatekeeper. She knows what adds to the empire and what risks dragging it down. And Meghan right now looks like a PR liability with no clear upside. The kind of wild card you don't let through the door without asking what she wants and what it'll cost. And if you show up without asking, you don't get in. You get turned away hard. Hollywood doesn't forget moves like this. When someone shows up to Kris Jenner's front gate without an invite, the whispers don't stay whispers for long. People talk, executives, PR teams, agents, even assistants, and the word getting around. Meghan's not just fumbling the bag. She doesn't even know where the bag is anymore. It's like she's playing a game where everyone else knows the rules, and she's still showing up thinking her title is the entry ticket. What makes it worse is that Meghan's trying to juggle two identities at once. On one hand, she's pushing the humanitarian image, talking about mental health, feminism, racial injustice. On the other hand, she's sliding into the DMs of Hollywood power players and tagging the Kardashians like she's auditioning for a spot on their group vacation. The two don't blend. It's oil and water. And people are starting to notice the contradiction. It's not that Meghan can't be both royal and relevant, serious and social, but her execution is off. Really off. She's moving like someone who's more concerned about being seen in the right circles than building anything of substance. And when that becomes the vibe, Hollywood checks out. Nobody likes try-hard energy here, especially not when it's coming from someone who used to be above it all. That fall from grace, it's brutal. And this Kris Jenner episode, that's just another brick in the wall being built around her. Behind closed doors, people are laughing. Not in a cruel way, but in that uncomfortable Hollywood way. The kind where they pretend to sympathize in public, then pass the memes around in private. Meghan has become the punchline to a joke she doesn't even know she's in. And the worst part, she's still playing it straight. Still acting like the next move is going to be the one that fixes everything.